I, Semaket, High Priest of Horus, forewarn that he who removes
the amulet shall have released said. He who walked abroad with the jackals at the dawn of man shall once again violate the earth. Said, ruler of evil, will again be free at the turn of the distant millennia. At his heel, plagues and locusts.
Harvests fail under the broken skies. My trusty companion returns.
The amulet, woman!
Once called forth, shall the heavens split asunder, and the light of the sun, god Horus, banish the Lord of Darkness, set. I wouldn't advise it.
No, Ahmed. Why? Why would you do that? After everything we have been through. My goodness, the adventures, the bonding moments. Okay, I'm just making stuff up now. Hello and welcome everyone to Let's Play Tomb Raider 4, The Last Revelation. This is 115. So apparently we have unleashed Seth, but before we were pretty much able to decipher the amulet further, it was taken away from us by Ahmed. Well, not for long, because we still have it in our inventory. There it is, the Amulet of Horus. Good stuff. Now I have very, very special, I wouldn't say necessarily good memories of this level, but the last time I played it was on my PS Vita, when I was testing out the PS1 version of the game to practice for the Let's Play, and this was over 2 years ago, in fact, straight after the Lost Artifact expansion, and I was on a trip to Japan with a friend of mine. This was early September 2018, and that's when the strongest typhoon of 21st century hit us. It was called Typhoon Yebi, and we were living in an old Chinese lady's house, and it was swaying under the strength of the winds. Now I didn't know what's gonna happen, if we're gonna survive or not, but there I was just playing Tomb Raider 4, practicing the Valley of Kings, the KB5, and later the Karnak levels. So just an interesting thing I wanted to point out here. Now, back to the game. This is gonna be a very fun level, but first of all, an absolutely epic shootout with assassins. Get your shotgun ready. Now, these are so-called, well, I'm going to refer to them as the blue assassins. They are a less lethal variety. There's going to be much worse. Stop that, please. And please take care of them quickly, because they're not waiting for you to finish them off before the next ones will spawn, okay? And occasionally, you can use these blocks as a cover. Unfortunately, we are already down to half of our health. That is not very... Whoa, sneaky, sneaky. It helps if you know where they're gonna spawn, but, you know, sometimes that's not enough. Now, after you kill the 6th one, you will get a shot of Ahmed entering the truck. Unfortunately, you can't move, even though there's a 7th one taking pot shots at Lara. But don't worry, she's invincible during cutscenes. Now, interesting thing about these assassins is, if once they take a few pot shots, they run out of ammunition, and they draw their blade, just like that. Whoa, you're getting nowhere, sir. So, an interesting thing to keep in mind about these guys, they don't have infinite ammunition, thankfully. This is not Tomb Raider 2. Okay, so Ahmed is in the truck, you know, and we can't really persuade him to get out. We can't threaten him with gunfire. We can't interact with the truck in any way. But we can interact with the Jeep over here, yeah? However, nothing happens, so I wouldn't really, you know, blame you for thinking it can't be used or entered or the control scheme changed drastically. Nothing like that. Instead, you just need a particular key item that one of the 7 assassins drop. By the way, 6 of them drop something, so it's quite generous. So, we can scour the area and we should find 3 Uzi clips, 2 small health packs, 1 large health pack, and the so-called ignition keys. One of the 3 pairs of Uzi clips, by the way, was here just by default. It was not dropped by any of the assassins, so don't worry about that, but still pick them up. Okay, and I believe that's all Uzi clips, that's the large health pack. This is the 2nd small health pack, so now all we are missing are the ignition keys, which should be somewhere around here. Brilliant, there we go, that's all we need to enter the Jeep. But before you do that, Ahmed, at least for all time's sake, has the patience to wait for us. Oh, sorry, this is the 2nd small health pack. And he will not go anywhere unless you decide to pursue him. He's just really nice guy like that. So, I'm gonna show you where the 2 secrets are in this area, out of 3. The 3rd one is not far behind. It's actually very short level. So, I recommend you draw a flare and just make it over here. And there you go. And this is interesting. This is the first pile of multiple items we see. So keep holding the action key and Lara will lift up each and every one of them. So it can't happen like in Tomb Raider 3 where I had to check the quantities of each pickup that you don't know how many you got. Lara will always just pick up 1. So you will see exactly what you're getting. I really, really like this. Okay. And this is where the 2nd secret is. It's fairly counterintuitive, but there you are. Above one of the tombs, and yeah, this is, by the way, the Valley of the Kings, right? The real Valley of the Kings is significantly bigger, as you'd expect. Now, these are the different entrances into the tombs of pharaohs. This is, well, the tomb of Seth is not actually there, but this is the one we left out of in the Tomb Raider universe. And the secret over here is again packed with goodies, so even more shotgun shells, more than you'll know what to do with. Actually, I'm very curious to check how many we have right now, so let me do that. 83, I'm not sure, that's probably more than we ever had in any of the previous Tomb Raiders ever. It's very generous with shotgun ammunition in this game. And I just like to take a slide here, it just feels so wrong that I love to do it. Okay, and another thing I like to explain whilst Ahmed is waiting for us, we'll be driving across this level, but on a couple of occasions you will see dark patches of wall like this. You can't really shoot them or destroy them, you can't climb into them. These will automatically disappear as soon as you cross certain checkpoints in the level. The whole point is that there are some slippery slopes you'll only be able to make with the Jeep. Should you disembark and return, these kinds of tunnels will offer you a way back so that you will not get stuck in the level even if you, in very awkward moments, decide to explore on foot, yeah? So it's just really thoughtful like that, and I really, really like this. A cool thing about the Jeep, you can enter from either direction, even though you can exit from one, but don't worry, I will spend some time exploring the control scheme as well, so that you'll have an easier time whilst you're playing the game. So, now that you press the control key, the game automatically brings up the inventory screen and you can insert the ignition key. And the truck disappears. And leaves behind a grenade. So, don't worry, the truck will reappear. It's just a glitch, probably because the game is running on currently, where I'm recording it is Windows 8.1, even though I have the patch. It just disappears. And it often leaves behind grenades, but they actually don't deal any damage. Again, I think this is an issue with modern operating system. Either way, the controls. You might already try the direction keys. Forward does nothing, backward does nothing, left and right turns the wheel but doesn't allow us to move, right? It's very different from previous game, from the snow scooters, the buggies, the boats. Instead you have to press the action key and Lara will move forward. And if you press the action key and to the side, Lara will of course turn with the car. So you can make a short circuit like this just to get used to the acceleration. In the top right corner of the screen you see the accelerator gauge. It's pointless, but it's really cute that they put it there. Again, it's the same space where the items you pick up appear, so I think they just decided to get an extra use out of the functionality. And the little D at the corner of the screen reminds me of the Tomb Raider 2013 font, to be honest, which is really interesting. Anyway, so we can keep making circuits, but what if we need to go back? Well, once you're standing still, you need to very counterintuitively, or at least in my control scheme, press the sprint key once, and Lara will go into backwards going mode. And you can see the letter D change into R, so reverse. Unfortunately, the side controls did not reverse, right? So you have to get used to that. It's a bit awkward. Now, then again, once you fully stop, you have to press the walk key, and Lara will start facing forward. So backwards, forwards, backwards, forwards. It takes her a little bit of time. It's fairly clumsy, and you can't do it as you're moving. You have to wait for the car to stop. But I have a better idea. If you press the jump key whilst driving, the red lights turn on, and Lara will come to a full stop. So this is the handbrake, right? The jump key is the handbrake, and this is very useful. If on the go you suddenly need to go into reverse, just press the handbrake, press the sprint key, and press the action key again and start maneuvering. Then again, handbrake, walk key, accelerate with action key, and go forward. So that's pretty much all there is to know about the Jeep. Now let me just make sure we leave it, and you can exit the Jeep not by using the roll key and side like in Tomb Raider 3, but instead by pressing the jump key, which is the handbrake, and usually I would say one of the sides, but in case of the Jeep you can only exit left. Okay? Now I believe we entered from the other side, so let's enter from here now. And there's the truck! Just like that, if you want it to reappear, just leave and re-enter the Jeep. It will keep throwing grenades at you, but they do nothing. As you can see, we passed right through one, so we don't even need to put effort into dodging them. And the Jeep can take you across slippery slopes. Now over here there will be two more assassins. Yep, they're already taking pot shots. Just try to get over here. Okay, and wait for them, because one of these guys tends to linger on top of the rock, and it takes a while for him to get down so you can drive over them safely. Now, mind you, no kills are being recorded in Tomb Raider 4, so I can just freely run over enemies, because the kill statistics count is my own making, right? So it's very liberating to not have to worry about explosives, kill glitch, or about running over enemies not counting, because nothing counts. Well, in that case everything counts. Okay, now we are not doing great health-wise, but I'm gonna show you a cool thing. Let's get ahead of the truck and stop it like this. And one thing I really wanted to show you is the truck that Ahmed is in has a shadow underneath, like all living enemies, right? And don't worry, it can't hurt you even though it's trying to steer to left and right. But the cool thing is, Lara aims at it. It's an actual moving enemy. We can fire at it, we can even use the shotgun, whatever the case. We can't destroy this kind of enemy, yeah? For those of you who have explosive weapons at this point using save editor or cheat, please let me know if this does anything to the truck. I highly doubt it, but it would still be a worthwhile experiment. Nevertheless, this is an unkillable enemy, and I'm gonna count it as such in my statistics video. I hope I will not forget. Now, yeah, whilst Ahmed is stuck, he'll try throwing grenades at us because he detects we are at the back, but again, these things do absolutely nothing, so it's kind of funny, even if you're outside the Jeep. Now, the reason I disembarked as well is because of secret number 3, and by now, if you play Tomb Raider 3, you know this kind of ladder texture, like in the Nevada desert. This is a climbable ladder, yeah? So we just have to enter the Wow, this actually always happens. I wasn't intending to press the look key, but Lara will just spawn at the very end of this. It's behaving very oddly. Anyway, once you get here, you will find that Lara is unable to climb into this, even if you hold the crawl key, strangely enough. It's like they didn't really program in an animation for Lara to do that, so instead, release the action and repress it immediately, and then crawl climb in. It can be a bit tricky on the fingers, but it's actually easier than it looks, okay? And you already heard the secret chime. So that's it, the third and final secret of the level. They are all clustered together. Okay. And there we go. Now we picked up a new item. That should be interesting. So a small health pack, and what could this be? Grenade gun super ammo. It sounds like a 1990s name, I'm gonna be honest. So grenade gun is an explosive weapon we are gonna get later on in the game, arguably the most powerful one. And super ammo is its more powerful variant of ammunition. So these are not normal grenades, these are super grenades. Now again, I will test out in the future to see exactly what the difference between normal grenade ammunition and super grenade ammunition is. But from what I read online, it's supposed to cluster into several smaller grenades and create a lot of splash damage. Now, whether this is actually more useful in combat of Tomb Raider 4 or not, I do not know. Again, I can't wait to do some testing, but unfortunately we don't have as much ammunition as I'd like for that very purpose. So, let's get out of Secret 3 and see what the truck has been up to. Oh, and one thing I recommend you doing before you reach the ladder again is go into a crawl by using the holster key, and throw the flare by using the flare hotkey. So get rid of it, because Lara will let go of the ladder once the flare stops burning. This is actually one thing they did not improve upon as compared to the older games. In Tomb Raider 4, Lara will just give up. The moment she's supposed to throw off the flare, that's her priority. Even death is worth throwing off the flare, so she will not keep holding it politely like the red flares in Tomb Raider 2 and 3. Ah, the truck is still there. Oh! It found a way out. It just went across our jeep. This actually always happens when you climb out of Secret 3. I don't know why. I think that Ahmed's conscience is playing again, and he just politely wants to wait for us to pick up the third secret and be on our way. You know, he's really just a gentleman now that I think about it. Even though he calls Lara woman like she's a kettle, but there you have it. He's been brought up in that kind of place, I guess. Now, let's go forward and... Okay, be very, very, very careful here. Not because of the grenades, because of the assassin. Yeah, and let Ahmed drive first, because he's gonna push you out of there and into the abyss. You don't want that to happen. Or maybe you do, depending on what you consider fun. Okay, and there's just one final assassin that can potentially kill us. Let's do that to him first. Yes, we did it! Oh my god, and once you drive over the slope at the very end, that's it, you will have finished the level. But one thing I want to show you first is, in case you ever get stuck and you leave the jeep at the wrong moment, please take note of these side tunnels, and I'm going to show you just how well they connect the entire level. You might be thinking, now we have to make it across the abyss. No, we are at the actually correct side, towards where we entered from. It's all connected in an absolutely fascinating way, and I think it really does deserve to be shown. Okay, another hidden ladder, and you might be forgiven for thinking that there are some secrets here. There aren't. I was a bit disappointed, but still, the fact that you can traverse the entire level so quickly on foot, that is truly wonderful. Okay, and now we are gonna make it to another one. This is where the two first assassins we encountered were, once we were on the jeep, that is. And we can, yeah, we can also drop like this, or use the ladder on the side. I'm gonna use that to get back, so just to add a bit of variety, I don't want to repeat it. Okay, and just over yonder is the very beginning of the level. The sort of first slope we overcame, the actual Valley of the Kings with the tomb entrances. In case you missed something, forgot something, you can retrieve it here. Now, remember, this is the dark panel I showed you at the beginning of the level. It has disappeared after we overcame the very first slope over there, just for the convenience of making it back. So now, I'm gonna traverse through the entire level, which by the way doesn't really mean much, just to show you what you can, the sort of plan you can fall back to in case you get stuck, okay? And this is the ladder, and again, we are at the top of the clearing where the first two assassins tried to ambush us from behind the rocks. Okay. Oh, and by the way, cool thing, I already mentioned the next few levels, the KV5 and the Karnak levels. KV5 is basically a continuation of this level. It really feels like this was again supposed to be one single level with the one that's up ahead, but they decided to split it due to memory constraints, and you'll see what I mean, because, well, this level is short. I mean, I'm traversing it for the third time across it, right? And just the absolute biggest mindfuck of all of these shortcuts is this, the very final one. Instead of making it across that abyss where the secret 3 was, in the spiky abyss, we can just do this. And there we are at the end of the level. Wasn't that fun? Okay, so let me just pause right here, check the statistics screen. So the Valley of Kings, we didn't actually use that much ammunition because we only shotgunned our way through. We're really impressive. We didn't use any health packs. I'm very, very, very happy about that indeed. We have found all 16 items, we have killed all 12 assassins, and we have found all 3 secrets of the level. So, unlike last time when I forgot to save the game and I had to actually replay the level, give or take a few seconds and meters crossed, it matches the same exact state we finished at. So you can see the time 1:54 and minus or plus a couple of seconds. I'm gonna make a save here at the end of the Valley of Kings, and with those words I'm gonna see you guys and we'll finish and wrap up this car chase scene. Take care now and I'll see you soon.